Okay. Where the hell's the starting grid at? Okay. Where's info? Where the hell's my race info at? Okay. Hell's the starting grid at? I don't have my race info. I don't have my race grid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting the qualified taken care of now. We're going to come up and see what we have for the grid. We're still waiting for the grid to get squared away. We have a couple of little difficulties we're taking care of, but the race will be right with you, and I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the starting grid. Robbie Darnell takes the point. Kyle Heath is second. Jason Haney is third. Larry Blair is in fourth. Robbie Stewart's fifth. Chris Path is in sixth. Brandon Sheets is in seventh. Nate Webb is in the eighth position. Keith Hurlbert is in ninth. R.J. Jones is in 10th. Jeff Gilmore is 11th. Jeremiah Johnson is in 12th. Marco Lett is 13th. Al Lincolns is in 14th. Fred Pennington is 15th. Michael Yarrow is way back there in 16th. Josh Jones is in 17th. Brandon Hartwell, he's back there as well in 18th. David Cassidy is in 19th. Mark Kostick is in 20th. James Small, 21st. The 22nd position is my car, but I'm not racing tonight. Jason Adams is in 23rd. Nicholas Rowe is in 24th. And Robert Chiswick is in 25th position. We have 24 cars on the grid this evening. Going to start back with Robbie Darnell. He's going to lead them off. We're just waiting for the green flag to get going. I do apologize. We're having a couple of difficulties here right off the get-go, but we're not too bad as of yet. We're just trying to nail down a couple things before we get this thing underway. So I have Loggy Boy 700. Let's go. Asmero is, and I hear the 19 car is pretty fast tonight. And Terrapath, let's go, babe. Obviously got a fan at home. Let's get these guys on the track, get them rolling. We're going to go up with Robbie. He's going to lead them away. We have a little bit of a stutter, and if it carries on, we're going to have to switch over to a different program. But we're going to hope that we're going to be able to get this cleared up before things get going too much. We know we will not lose the race, but I will have to switch over if we do have a problem. We've been having a little bit of a problem with the new program, and hopefully we can have it all nailed down once we get this thing underway. Okay, looks like we lost our track map. We have Robbie Darnell. He's got the point. Heath is on the outside. And he's on the inside. The pace car is off. Go for the green. Green, green, green. Here we go, boys. We're racing. They're all fouled up, nice and clean. Kyle Heath is on the outside, taking a look. At the 13 car, Kyle Heath jumping out in the front. The 73 of Larry Blair is giving him a good push. Larry Blair, Kyle Heath, they're jumping out. There's the 22. He's coming up, take a look. Everybody's minding their P's and Q's. They're just kind of looking around. There's the 9 of Haney. Jason Haney looking around on the outside. He's getting a little bit of a push from the 13. '22 and the 44 at your lead. Although the 44 has dropped back. It's the 3 of Robbie Stewart. Giving the 22, Chris Path, a good push. Right off the get-go. We're going to jump into the 2 car, take a quick look. We're going to take a quick walk back and take a look at Mark. Mark's at the back of the field at this moment. Just riding along in his IBM car. All right. Everyone's back there. The 24, Jason Adams, he's back there as well. And of course, Jason Adams, he was last year's champion. I thought I had some camera views of him, but I guess I do not at this moment in time. I do have a couple of little problems with the system here tonight. I thought I had all the bugs worked out, but until you get going, it really can be a little bit of a nuisance. Get back up to the front with the 22 car. That's Chris leading the way. There's the 3 of Robbie Stewart right behind him. Brandon Sheets behind him in the 2. Keith Hurlbert is in the 19 behind him. For a lap 6, going into turn 3, coming around the corner. Everyone is really good shape. No one's really pushing anything as of yet. There's a good view from the blimp. Although back there in the 45, Michael Yarrow, he seems to be having a little bit of a problem. Notice he was waving a little bit back there, but he seems to get it under back end of control again. Go back to his fire chase. Well, jumping to the bottom line, but he's all right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little bit of a... We're starting to get this thing nailed down. I'm trying to do some things behind the scenes here, trying to get some problems worked out as we continue to broadcast the race for you. We have a little bit of a stutter, a little bit of a problem. So all my guys are up front. Let's go, boys. Tara Papp is saying. So let's see what they can do. He's in second place at the moment. So let's see what Chris can do. Let's just jump in with Chris here for a minute. Take a look. Take a look out of his windshield. He's just right there pushing Jeremiah Nelson. Yeah, I do definitely have a little bit of a stutter in the video here tonight. We have a new system coming, but it won't be here for about 2 weeks. And once we get that all set up, the video cards and the programming and everything else will be a lot better than what we have right now. So I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I may bounce out of here. I'm going to take a moment, switch out to my old system. It will give me less information, but it's a lot more steady, less static, so on and so forth. because I just want to try to give you guys the best possible racing information here, and I'm just not happy with the lag that we're having with this system. Oh, we have a yellow though first. Hold on a minute. We have a yellow. Look like Al Lincoln's crashed. We'll go see if we can find out where Al is. Let's take a quick look, see what happened to him. See if we can back up a little bit. He's in the National Guard car. Let's see if we can get into a big camera. Take a look, he's back in the back. Oh, okay, so let's see what happened here. Let's go back just a little bit more. Go up in the helicopter. Take a look from overhead. Looked like the 8 may have came up behind him. Or he got into the back. Robert Chiswick. And that just started everything happening. So let's see if we can jump back into the 8 car. Take a look and see what happened there. See if we can see what we see out of the windshield of his vehicle. We're going to take a look. Right on the back end of the 88. The 6 is on the outside. I guess came up a little bit. Oh, right in the side. Okay. There we go. All right, well, we're going to go back up. They're all coming back into pit lane at the moment. So I'm going to take this opportunity, while these guys are pitting, I'm going to jump out of here, shut down this system, switch over to the old system. That way we'll get rid of the glitch, because we're definitely having a little bit of a glitch in our video here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back. Okay, fundraising road to pro. Where the hell's my information at? Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to our regular scheduled programming, as they might say. I'll look for the 48, and that's going to jump up. Let's see if we can take a look. See if we can find him on the track. All right. So now it appears we have the 48, Jeremiah Johnson, or Sorry, Jeremiah Johnson. That was a good movie, actually. Jeremiah Nelson is in the lead. Robbie Darnell's on the outside in second place. Chris Path is in third. Jay Haney is in fourth. Kyle Heath is in fifth. Brandon Sheets is in sixth. Robbie Stewart is in seventh. Larry Blair is up in the eighth. Jeff Gilmore is in ninth. And Keith Hillbutt is in 10th. So, yeah, let's see what these guys can do with this. All right, so now I need to find out where all my camera angles are again, because, again, we just switched the system over. I apologize. The microphone turned on and off, and hopefully I didn't say anything nasty when I was looking for my gosh darn information. They're coming up on the green. The pace car should be pulling off. There's the pace car off now. Hopefully this going back to the other system will eliminate the stutter. Okay, boys, here we go. Green, green, green. 48 and 44. Side by side. Jeremiah seemed to have a bit of a push. He's getting a push by Chris. Chris is giving him a push on the inside. The 13 is giving Robbie a push on the outside. Oh, there we go. All right, now we lost a bunch of our camera angles as well when I switched the program back. But hopefully it'll be okay. Well, we have the 44. The 44 dropped down. No, I apologize. It's the 48. The Ally car. Not quite sure what happened to him. He got out of the lead. He was leading. He was doing really well. And I'm not quite sure what's going on with him, actually. Let's jump back up with the leader. That would be Chris on the outside. Oh, he's dropping down to the inside now. Guys are switching lanes back and forth, front and back. We definitely still have a long way to go. Okay, our leader's now Robbie Darnell. Robbie Darnell's back out in the lead, taking a look. All right, we're running with 24 cars on the track at this moment in time. Everyone seems to be doing good. The inside line is definitely moving a little bit better than the outside line. They're bunching up a lot more on the inside. Lap 15 out of 100. So let's take a run back and take a look and see David Cassidy. What's David Cassidy see out of the windshield of his car? I don't seem to have... I seem to have a little bit of a problem with my video camera feed. And the 17. Okay, let's go to the 5. There's the 5. Okay, Dave Cassidy's out. Robert Chiswick is out. Nicholas Rose in the pits. Well, no wonder I couldn't get a hold of David Cassidy, because he's not even in the system at the moment. Something happened to him probably in that last crash. Again, we do not have fast repairs in this race. So if you wreck, you either have to sit in the pits and wait for the repairs, or if they're too drastic, you're going to have to sit out the rest of the race. We try to make it as realistic as possible with these guys here. And this league is doing a very good job. It's been around for years. I've been a member of this league for many years. And a lot of really good guys are racing in it. We'll go back up to the leader. See what's going on. There we go. Robbie Darnell still in the lead. He's still walking away with this thing. But it is Daytona. That means whoever's in the back can definitely be in the front, which would be Jeremiah Nelson. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Jeremiah. Like, he's still back there, but he's still running by himself. He's back quite a ways. He's really off the pace. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Once you lose the draft here, though, it is Daytona. Once you lose the draft, you're kind of in trouble. And the other person that's in trouble as well is the 33 car. And that's Mark. Mark usually likes to ride around in the back as well, but it's not a good thing to lose the draft. So he's also back there. I have the track map up in the upper right-hand corner so you can see he's in white. No, I apologize. He's in purple at the very back stretch going into turn 3 now. And you can see the rest of the pack is coming out of turn 4, heading for the dog leg and the start-finish line. So you can see on the map in your upper right-hand corner, they're definitely a little ways behind everyone else. So let's just jump back up with the leader. That's Robbie Darnell. He's still in the lead. Everyone's minding their P's and Q's. They're doing a pretty good job. Tarafath, he's saying that he is screaming from the other room, so he must be having a good time or he's really upset at everyone else that he's racing with. He's right there between Brandon Sheets and Keith Harbut, and yeah, so let's just, yeah, he could be having something to scream about. Let's take a quick look. Take a look and see if we can see the, no, that's not the run I'm looking for. So he's right there in the middle. He's riding along in 6th place, so he's not doing terrible. Again, 20 out of 100, so we only have 80 laps to go. 80 laps could be a lifetime for some of these guys, I'm sure. So let's take a run back and take a look at my buddy Larry Blair, because Larry Blair, I'll tell you what, he's a good driver. He's just biding his time back there in the back of the pack. That's Larry in the 73 car. This is the Red Bull car. Just drop down to the inside, taking a look, seeing what's going on. Drop up and take a look at Fred Pennington. Where are you at, Fred? Fred's in the 8 car. Take a look out his windshield. He's definitely drafting the 88 car. That would be the 88 of Al Lincoln's. And coming from behind, there's the 24 car, Jason Adams. He was the champion last year. There's the 80 car, Mark Ouellette. And behind him would be James Small in the 61 car. They're at the back of this pack. Meanwhile, the leader's way up front. Single file for the most part until you get back a little bit farther in the pack. There's Larry Blair on the outside. He's trying to get a pack of 4 going. Not quite sure what he can do with it, though, at this moment in time. He dropped back to the inside. Now there's only 3 on the outside. Jump in with the 76, Josh Jones. Josh Jones is on the outside of that inside line. 2 cars just jumped out in front of him. If he can catch up with them, he'd be all right. Oh, came down, almost got Larry Blair. The outside line is definitely moving faster than the inside line there for a moment. All right, we'll go back up to the leader. Your leader's still Robbie Darnell. He's going in the turn. Coming out of turn 2 at the moment. Going along the back straightaway. Just trying to get a few other things done. Switching back to this older system, I did lose a lot of my video feed, a lot of my information that I had. I had pictures of all the individual drivers with their cars. I was going to have them pop up every now and then, but I guess I can't do that today. I will be very happy when I get my new system. We have a new computer coming for broadcasting with new video cards, high end. So fingers crossed, we'll have that here within a week or so. And we'll get back to live, very good video quality race broadcasting. All right, let's go back here, take a look. Where's the 5 at? He's on the outside. R.J. Jones. He's right behind the 45. Michael Yarrow. Michael's leading that outside line. They don't seem to be making a lot of time, though, at this moment in time. Go back to Larry Blair. He's on the inside, right behind the 76 of Josh Jones. And Mark Ouellette back in the 80. He's at the tail end of this line at this moment in time, I do believe. Yes, he is. So we only have one car up front, and then we have 3 more coming around the outside. So let's go take a look at the 61, take a look and see if he can catch up to this pack. The 48, okay, that's the 48. He's definitely has some trouble. See if he can catch back into the pack and catch the draft and get his speed back. Let's take a quick look out his windshield. Again, once you lose the draft, you're losing 5 or 10 miles an hour, and it's not a good thing. So you're getting close to 27 laps on the car. All these cars will be coming in between 28 to 32. So I'm thinking that a lot of guys are looking to get down into that inside lane because they're going to need to come into the pits here really soon. So we're going to kind of take a look up at this guy, go back up to our leader. They're going by pit lane this time. So they're going to get one more lap in. But now the pack is catching up with Mark. You can see Mark in the distance going around turn 1, going into turn 2. And yes, I am happy to say I believe our stutter is gone in our video quality, switching back to the old program. So I do apologize for having that stutter. Again, once we get things nailed down, we get our new system, we will be driving like no tomorrow. The video quality should be very good. Almost 4K, they tell me. So we will see. We're going to jump in with Mark in the 33, and we're going to take a look and see all these cars going by him. Because they're just going to fly by Mark here. And maybe Mark can get into the draft as well. Because as you can see, the draft is just sailing past Mark. So if he can get back out there, he should be okay. He needs to jump in behind the 80. If he can get down in behind the 80, pick up some speed. Loggy Boy is saying next time we gotta get all in Discord and watch everything together. Well, it's more fun to have a Daytona party. And it looks like Mark is not going to be able to keep up with the pack, and he's going to start drifting back behind them again. That could put him another lap down. However, pit lane stops are coming up. So let's just jump back up to the leader and take a look, because he should be coming in here soon. They're coming around turn 3 into 4. Definitely sailing right along, so I don't think they're pulling. No, they're not pulling into the pits this time. Yes, unfortunately, Mark has dropped back again. As you can see, the pack with the draft is running 5 to 10 miles an hour, at least faster than Mark is. And so they're just driving away from him. Again, he might be able to pick up the pace if he can get into the pits the same time the leaders are, the lead pack is. That way he can try to jump back out with enough time to fall into that pack and get the draft. But again, it's not a good thing for Mark at this moment in time. All right, we're back with Robbie Darnell up in the front. He drove by pit lane one more time, so he's still going. And we're into lap 32. But we did have an accident early, and a lot of cars did stop for fuel then, so that probably threw off the pit window a little bit. By probably about 5 laps, I'm guessing. So we could be around 35 to 38 laps for a pit window. But again, I'm just guessing, because with the stuttering and the old program and then switching it back, I kind of lost track of what lap we were on when we had that last accident. We're going to drive past pit lane one more time. And everybody's following Robbie. It's the Robbie show so far. He lost the lead a couple of laps, but he's got it back, and he's been leading the pack for the past number of laps. We're going to drop back to the 7, see what Nate Webb's doing, see how he's going along. He's right there behind Larry Blair. And the 48 of Jeremiah Nelson. So he's obviously picked up the pace. He's back in the pack. And he was able to maintain the draft and stay with the rest of the pack. So whatever happened to him, because he was leading this thing for a while, something happened to him. He got off the pace down to the inside, and he got shuffled back, and he lost the lead. He lost his way. He's down a lap actually now, I believe. So yes, the 48 is down 1 lap. Mark Kostic is down 1 lap as well. Oh, right on Larry's back end. Here we go. We're going to crank it up for a minute. So the viewers out there, I just wanted to ask you on YouTube, how is the volume of the cars? We're doing this drive-by. Just wanted to see if the volume is good as these cars fly by you. Just wanted to check that out, make sure that we have good sound quality for the car engines. Thank you, Loggy Boy. I appreciate that. Looks like everything is good and great volume. Again, I had to switch from one program to my other broadcasting program, my old program, because we were having a couple issues with the new one. I just downloaded that new one, and we're having a few issues. My computer's not quite big enough, so we have a new computer on the way. But that does us no good tonight at all. So, all right, let's take a walk, run back, and take a look. Where's Marco Lett? Because he looked like he was lagging back a little ways. We'll go take a look, and he's back there by himself. He's about a third, about a quarter. He's going into turn 2 at the moment, and the rest of the pack is going into turn 3. So he's back straightaway away from the rest of the pack, right there riding by himself at this moment in time. Again, once you lose a draft here, you can get in trouble really quickly. So we're going to go back and take a look. Where's Jason Adams? Actually in the 24 car. We'll take a look and see how Jason's making out. He's now at the back of this pack. He's back there with the 76, Josh Jones. The two of them are trying to get back up to the back end of the pack so that way they don't lose the draft. They seem to be catching up a little bit. We're 3 wide in the middle, going up through. We'll take a look at the 19 and take a look out his front right suspension. Got a problem with his front tire because I don't even see it. So he's driving around on 3 wheels? I don't know. That's a little bit... Oh, we got a wreck right in front of us. Look at that. There's a 19 car around. Let's go back and take a look. See if we can back this up a little bit. We'll get into the chopper. No, it was a 45. My mistake. It was the 45. The 45 got around. So let's back this up just a hair more. So we have 2 45s, actually. I didn't notice that before. So where's the 57? The 57's right there. 57 got into the 45. We'll take a quick look and see. Okay, this is the other 45. That's Michael Yarrow that we're riding with now. So in front of him would be Jeff Gilmore, possibly? I'm not sure. It's very hard to figure out who's who if they're both running the same number. So we have 2 45s. So go back and take another quick look and see if we can narrow this down. So we have the 57. So we go into the 57 and take a look at his. So there's the 45 Monster Energy car right beside him. Looks like he just got up just a little bit and got into the back corner of him. Let's see if we can see the right front suspension. See if we can take it. Yeah, he got right into the back corner of that Toyota. And let's just see what that was all she wrote. And around he went. And unfortunately, that took out the 9. 9 hit the wall pretty hard. The 3. The 2's in the grass. The 57's in the grass. All right, let's go back up to live. Back up, see who's in the lead. It appears that we have Fred Pennington possibly in the lead. We'll have to wait till they circle back through, cross the start-finish line, and then we'll be able to figure out exactly who's leading this thing again. According to our ticker, it says Fred Pennington, but I don't trust that until I see them cross the start-finish line. I've been fooled before, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Chris got by, barely. He's still in this thing, Tara. I'm going to go up here. We're back up with the leader. Take a quick look. We're in the back. I'll go to TV3. We have Mark up there. But Mark is still showing as, I believe, 1 lap down. Jeremiah Nelson appears that he got his lap back that time. He's going to be going back to the end of the longest line. So Mark being in the front, he might get a wave around with 1 lap to go. We will see. But that appears to put the 25 in the lead. Crossing the start-finish line now, so that will reset our ticker. Yes, it is. Brandon Hartwell in the 25 car with Fred Pennington right behind him. Followed by the 45, Michael Yarrow. Robbie Darnell's in 4th. Chris is in 5th. RJ is in 6th. Keith is in 7th place in the 19 car. Larry Blair's up to 8th. James Small is in 9th, and Josh Jones is in 10th. We still have a lot of cars on pit lane. They're all starting to come back out now. Getting caught up. Only 2 cars left on pit lane. We're looking for Mark. He's still showing as 1 lap down. But he did apparently get the wave around, so it looks like he's coming around to the back of the pack. So he might have gotten his lap back. All right, the lights are off on the pace car. Coming around turn 4. So Brandon and Fred will lead them to the green. Brandon on the inside, Fred on the outside. Pace car is off. Coming to the green. Green's in the air. Green, green, green. Let's go, boys. Everyone settling in, 2 by 2 by 2. A little leader up front. The 3 of them starting to break away on the inside line. That's the 8 car. Fred Pennington. Brandon Hartwell right behind him. Followed by the 45 of Michael Yarrow. Now I know the black 45 is Michael Yarrow. I'm still trying to figure out who the heck is driving the Monster Energy 45 farther in the back. As soon as I figure it out, I will let you know. Actually, jump back with Jason. We'll take a look and see where Jason is. Jason has Nate Webb possibly in the 7. I don't see a 7 anywhere near Jason, so I would say the 7 of Nate Webb's car is the 45 Monster Energy car. Let's just take a look and see in the 7 car. Take a quick look. We're going to focus on his car for a moment. He's right behind Larry Blair. And that's exactly who it is. Nate Webb in the 7 car is driving that 45 Monster Energy car, the green and white car. Okay, we found our mystery driver. Yes, Doggy Boy, yes, I see that. 45 Monster Energy. I just figured that out. I'm not as fast as I used to be. Sometimes I got to look at things 3 or 4 times before I figure it all out. All right, let's jump back up with the leader again. Fred Pennington's got a good line going on the inside line. Got the Valvoline car way back there. On the outside, trying to make something happen. They're going to have to get a little bit more help on that outside line to bring them up to the front. At Daytona, the outside line can go if you get a good pack running together. But again, you have to be nice and tight and make it happen. We're going to jump back to the 5. Let's see what the 5 is doing. He just jumped out there, and he jumped out into the outside lane. One extra car could add a little bit more speed to that outside line. Let them catch up to the leaders. At the 45, Michael Yarrow taking a look on the outside, hoping that outside line is going to catch up with him. Give him a big push, because right now he's dropping back. And actually, there goes the 25. The 25 will go back out to the outside. Take a look from the chopper. Now the outside line has caught up to the inside line. We had a couple guys drop out to join it. So Fred Pennington has got a little bit of competition at the front of the pack. We're 46 laps in out of 100. Michael Yarrow, take a look on the outside. We're getting 3 wide. He's stuck out there by himself. 61 looking, saying, which way do I want to go? But he's letting Michael get back in again. Meanwhile, Fred thought the outside line was going to go, so he pulled out in front of it. Ooh, the 25 was right on his back bumper. He could have spun him. A little bit of net code, that would be all it would take to spin him around, but he survived it. But it's also going to let the leader jump out in front of him. He's now lost the lead. We have the 5 up front, and we have Brandon Hartwell to the lead. So he's got no one right there except for the 8 of Fred, giving him a big push. So we're going to go back with Fred and take a look out his windshield. Let's see how close he is to him. He is right on his back bumper. We'll go to the nose cam. And actually, you have a couple other cars that just pulled out in the front. R.J. Jones now looks to be the leader. So let's take a look and see rear chase. With the 2 giving him a good push. The 45, and then the 25, the 8. All on the inside line, making a run of it. So who haven't we seen now? We haven't seen Robbie Stewart. Where's Robbie Stewart at? Let's go back and take a look at Robbie. Back in the Budweiser car. He's on the inside line. Just putting his laps in, taking his time. Nothing major. Drop over to Kyle Heath in the 13 car. He's right there behind Jason Adams. Again, everyone minding their P's and Q's at this moment in time. No one's really doing a whole lot of desperate maneuvers. Again, we're only 50 laps out of 100 into this race. We are halfway. So no one really needs to do anything crazy. Although Kyle's right there on the outside. Looks like he wants to go. Go back up to the leader again. R.J. Jones is right there. But it's actually Michael Yarrow that just jumped out in the lead. With Fred Pennington still giving him a big push. Brandon Sheets is right behind him. So that inside line is definitely seeming to be the line to be on. Doggy Boy saying, come on, RJ. Let's get this thing happening. We're going 3 wide at the very back there. Someone got stuck out. Looks like James Small's car. He got stuck out in the outside line. But it's Michael Yarrow at the front right now. He's getting a good push by the 8. Jump into the 8 car. I bet you can't see nothing from the... He's right in his trunk, ladies and gentlemen. You can't get any closer than that. He's right on his back bumper. He has to be a little bit careful he doesn't overheat riding that close. You need to get a little bit of air to these cars in these super speedways. You can push like the devil, but eventually you're going to need to get a little bit of air to that engine to keep it cool. But he's maintaining a good tight bond to the back bumper of his car. There, he's sticking his nose out now to get a little bit of fresh air. Maybe to cool it down a little bit. And then he's right back on his bumper again, as you can see. He's definitely giving him a big push. Now, meanwhile, on the outside, it looks like RJ is out there. Oh, no, RJ's in the pits. Wow, what happened to RJ? Not quite sure with that. I thought that was RJ on the outside, but I guess I was mistaken. So that's the 5. Well, that's RJ out there. That's RJ in the 5. All right, so I'm not quite sure who I had the camera swing back to in the pits. Someone was in the pits. Looks like they had front end damage. But they're still in the pits. They didn't pull out, so they would very well be... It could be the 9 of Jay Haney. Is he showing that he's in the pits? Take a quick look. Yes, he's still in the pits. So that would be his car. Back in the pits. So let's go back up the leaders again. All right, we're 3 wide farther back in the pack. The inside line is making a run for it. Jump back over to Larry Blair. Looked like he was back in that 3 wide pack, but it looks like they've all settled down again now. Back in the 2 lines. I'm really surprised that this outside line is not moving a lot faster than what it has been. And yes, Chris is definitely consistent. Doggy Boy is saying that Chris is very consistent up the front of the pack, and he's definitely doing fairly well. Take a quick look up where he is. He's right up there in the top 5. Biding his time, but still being led by Michael Yarrow. He's still showing everyone how to get around this track. The 88 is up there taking a look. That's Al Likens. Take a look out his windshield. He's right there taking a look. There's a good look at Chris's car on the inside as he goes by him. With the 19 coming up on him as well. There's Keith's car. Death Wish Coffee by the looks of it on his hood. And the 48 of Jeremiah Nelson, like he did go a lap down earlier, but he's back in the mix. He's right up there. He's in 7th position. There's Mark. Mark Kozlik is on the outside again. Mark is going down another lap. He's already 2 laps down. They're just flying by him once again. Mark's having some trouble with that car tonight. Everyone seems to be just sailing by Mark. He's not got that thing set up to get a good draft on it. Jumping back down into bottom line and seeing if he can catch up to the pack and get the draft. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get it. I mean, the 76 is right there. So close and yet so far away. If it slips away a little bit farther, he'll lose the draft again, and that'll put him down yet another lap. Because he's sitting at 2 laps down right now. So hopefully he can pick that pace back up and maintain the pace speed that he needs to stay with the pack. Although the 2 cars at the back, they're definitely lagging behind. Go back to Mark again for a second. We'll just take a quick look. He's definitely dropping back. He's definitely losing the draft. And Josh Jones in the 76 ahead of him, he's in trouble possibly. I mean, he's close enough to catch up to the pack again, but if he doesn't get right on the back bumper of the 80 car, he could be in trouble. But it's looking good. He's looking okay now. He's catching back up to the pack. But Mark is definitely in trouble back there. All right, let's go back up to the leaders again. Again, it's the Michael Yarrow Show. Everyone's taking their turn leading this thing around the track with 42 to go. Everyone's taking a crack at being the leader. Got Brandon Hartwell right on his back bumper, Fred Pennington, Brandon Sheets, Chris Paff, Heath Hurlbutt, Al Likens. They're all right there. National Guard cars looking to get back on the inside. He's looking to get down the side draft possibly. I know that's a personal favorite of mine. Come around the turn 2 and drop right down next to the car beside you within a foot of the door. You can take the air off of him and get all kinds of speed on that outside line. But again, you'd have to trust who you're driving with. And these guys are all professionals. Again, with this league, if you know this league at all, if you're familiar with SRU, definitely clean racing. Not usually a lot of accidents with this league. We definitely do a lot of good racing with this league, actually. So it does keep it entertaining as far as give and take. As we can see, the 48 car and the 73 Larry Blair, they're giving that outside line a little bit of a push to get him ahead. Jump in with the 48 car, take a look. He's right there pushing the 88 car. Trying to get that National Guard car to the front of the pack from the outside. He's definitely doing a pretty good job. They are pulling out ahead of the car of Michael Yarrow. There they are. They drop back down onto the inside lane. Up and left there, Larry Blair out there by himself. He does have 4 cars behind to give him a push, but he was nice and comfortable in that pack, helping to push, but they up and left him, opting for the middle center lane, I guess I should say, the inside line. Let's take a quick look. Larry looks like he's coming back up a little bit. The 5 is having a little bit of trouble getting into the draft right behind the 61. But now you have the 45, which is actually the 7. Nate Webb driving that Monster Energy car. We won't call him the 45 anymore. We'll just call him the Monster Energy car. But it is Nate Webb driving that thing. Anyway, those 4 cars up the front, though, they've definitely given Larry a push to the front. He's starting to catch up with them. If you get the Monster Energy car up there pushing the 5, give him a little bit more, they might be able to make something happen up here. Just jump in with Nate Webb here and take a look at his windshield. He's right there, but he's having trouble getting on the back bumper of the car. Again, when you're doing up towards the 200 miles an hour at Daytona, These front bumper and back bumper combinations are just slippery as all get out. Like, it's really hard to get locked on. 90% of the time, it's really hard to lock on to someone's back bumper and give them a good push that they require to get to the front of the pack. As you can see, every time he gets close, it just gets a little squirrely on him. So now the five's going right up the middle. Okay, let's go inside, take a look. Looks like 3 wide, but actually the 61 pulled ahead of the 88, so it's all right now. But the 88's going back up the middle again. Left the 61 on the outside. Oh, the 45, the 7. Monster Energy cars around. Up right out to caution. We're going to take a quick look. Go back to it. All right, he came down on the 2. Just a little bit down on him. Just enough to catch him. And everyone else looks like they missed the Monster Energy car. So everyone else is good. But that did bring out the caution. So it's a good time to go get a little bit of fuel. 36 laps to go. It's going to be very close. They may all come up short by 2 or 3 laps by fueling up now. If they can milk another lap or so before the end of the caution lap, it would be a good thing. But the pace car is coming out. The pace car is going into, let's see, the pace car is into turn 1. So everyone's got to fall in behind the pace car. Once they bunch up, the pit lane should open up. I'm sure all the drivers are hoping for at least one more lap before the pit lane opens, possibly. Just so that way they can get that one extra lap of fuel and come in as a pack. Again, even under caution, you want to come in as close to a pack as you possibly can, because if you come in late and the pack is up on the backstretch and you're still on pit lane, then you're scrambling to try to catch up in the pack with the green flag waving. You could be left half a lap down, whatever the case may be. And at Daytona, you need to be running with the pack. You cannot run by yourself. Even 2 cars struggle compared to a pack, because the pack just cuts through the air, makes all the difference in the world. So you definitely need to be running with a pack here at Daytona. So let's see if they're going to come in now. I'm expecting them all come in now. Yes, everyone's coming in now for fuel. I don't know what I have for camera angles again. We'll take a look at the 48, because 48, they actually went down and then he's back up. So let's just follow along with the 48 and take a look and see what Jeremiah Nelson takes. He takes Boxer up. He's getting fuel. He's not getting tires. Doesn't appear to be. Now the 57 got outside tires. A lot of guys are getting tires, I see, on the pit lane as the 48's coming out, driving by everyone. So I would say a lot of people are getting tires. But that's the nice thing about Daytona, because Daytona actually does not really burn up the tires as much as your average 1.5-mile track, or possibly one of the short tracks, because the right front usually burns up really, really bad. Then you have no steering at all. Now, at Daytona, the rear tires tend to burn up a little bit. You lose a little bit of traction off the rear tires. However, not that much. It's very minimal what you lose for traction, we'll say. So that's the reason why a lot of guys find it as an option whether they need to take tires or not. Most races at Daytona, most leagues only run about 60 or 70 laps, maybe 80. This is a 100-lap race, though, tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So it does make a difference. If you can go in, yellow flag, you have the tires. They had 3 sets of tires, 4 altogether, including what they started with. So they had 3 sets of tires sitting in the pits. If you had the time, throw them on. But green flag stop, you really don't need to get tires. Just a splash and go, and away you out off the pit lane, and away you go. Okay, the light should be off the pace car right now. Everyone's going to get back into line 2 by 2. There's still a lot of cars back onto the pit lane again. Possibly coming in for that last splash of gas. Filling up with some Sunoco fuel. These cars are just going into turn 1 now. We're round into turn 2. A lot of cars are coming off of pit lane. They're all coming off of pit lane now. So everyone's farther back. You can see them in the distance. We're all catching up. On the back straightaway. Coming up to turn 3. Broadcaster, what's your name? My name is Art. I used to drive the number 15 in here. 15, the Port City Pirates car. So I guess I'm not driving the Port City Pirates car this time around. I am your new announcer for this season. You'll have to bear with me. I'm still fairly new at announcing. Still fairly new at broadcasting. But I try to bring you some information from a driver's point of view, which sometimes helps. So, okay, the pace car's off. We're coming down to the green. Green flag's in the air. Go, go, go. Let's go racing, boys. Jeremiah Nelson's in the lead. Kyle Heath is looking on the outside. Larry Blair's with him looking on the outside. Larry's giving him a good push. Followed by Michael Yarrow. And it's the 5 car. The 5 R.J. Jones. All of them are on the outside trying to make something happen. There's Chris. Chris is right there in the mix as well. Looks like he got left out by himself, though, with the 7 car, the Monster Energy car, of, Nate Webb. Nate Webb and Chris is the only 2. Oh, Chris did get down in the inside line. So he's back in the line. So we have a long line of cars going again. Let's see, how high up is the blimp? The blimp's a little bit too far away to get a good look. So let's go back to the TV camera. We have the 13 now. Kyle Heath. I haven't seen Kyle at the front of the pack here most of the race. There's Larry right behind him. And then we have Michael Yarrow right behind Larry. And the 5 car of R.J. Jones. So we're all nice straight line. Jump back by the 17 car. The 17 car is way back by himself. I'm looking to see who I can find. Jump back with Jason Adams and see what he sees. He's close to the back of the pack. Haven't seen much from Jason today. He's your last year's champion. He's just biding his time. Not a good place to go, though, Jason, if they have the big one. Not a good place to be at all. There's the 57 right there behind him, Jeff Gilmore. Another longtime driver of this league. Jason's been around the league forever. We have a lot of new drivers as well. And I'd like to welcome all the new drivers to the league. You'll find this is a fun league and really sociable group of guys. Very little drama in this league. Everyone's here just to have a good time and race around on a Sunday night. All right, let's go back up with the leaders. We're going 3 wide. The 5 car is looking on the outside. R.J. Jones, and that's Nate Webb right behind them. They're dropping back in the line again, thinking better of it. But that still put the 88 out front. So Al Likens, I believe he's one of the newer drivers. He's showing the boys how to get it done here at Daytona. And we only have 28 laps to go. We're almost down to 3/4 of the lap finished. So we have the 88 of Al Likens. Fred Pennington is in second. Jeremiah Nelson's in third. R.J. Jones is in fourth. Kyle Heath is in fifth. Larry Blair is back in sixth. Nate Webb is in the Monster Energy car, 45/ the 7 car. And then we have Michael Yarrow in the 7th place in the 45. The real 45 car, we'll say. So it'll be the 245 side by side. Or one in front of the other, I guess you would say. And then we have Brandon Hartwell. And we have Chris Laff back in 10th spot. Chris is just back there biding his time, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll be ready to go when we get down to about 10 laps to go or so. We're going to jump into the 8 car and take a look out his windshield, because it looks like he is riding his bumper. Stick his nose out to get a little bit of fresh air. You got to be careful though he doesn't catch the corner, because you can spin him real easy getting onto that corner of the 88 car. All right. So it looks like my camera is a little bit off from my volume. So we're going to just see if we can just adjust that. Jump up to the next session. Fast forward. See, it says that I'm live, but I have a small mini camera here looking at the video quality of the YouTube broadcast, and it looks like what I see is not what you're seeing on YouTube, unless there's a slight delay. So what do you say, folks out there in YouTube land? Am I having a little bit of a lag between what I'm talking about and what I am, or what you are seeing on the track? For instance, we're going to jump into the cockpit right now of the 88 car. There's the cockpit of the 88 car. So what say you out there in TV land? Are you sitting in the cockpit with me right now? And then we're going to jump back out to the TV right there. Now we're back out to the front of the pack. Thank you very much, Logie boy. I appreciate it. Everything's lining up. Last time I had a problem with the new system. And again, we found out that it was a computer problem. When I did switch over to the old system, like I did earlier tonight, we found there was almost a minute lag. And it was terrible. For about 10 laps, I was a minute off. They had an accident, and I was announcing the accident, and they were back on the track racing, and I was still announcing the accident happening. It was terrible. I felt so bad. Thank you, Tara. You keep me informed. Let me know what I'm doing. And feel free to critique the broadcast. I'm still finding my way, so to speak. I've only got 10 or 12 broadcasts in over the past couple of months. And this is my first broadcast with these guys. Again, I've been a racer with SIU for a few years now, but they wanted me to come up here as a driver's perspective to let the people at home see what's going on the track, maybe give you a little bit of a personal perspective on the different drivers and their personalities. I don't know. I think they're all a bunch of fools. What do you think? They're not, actually. They're all great guys. Every one of them are really good guys in this track. All right, Al Likens is still in the front of the pack. He's doing really well in the 88 car. Fred Pennington is still right there. So good things coming out of Fred there tonight. Again, I believe he's one of the newer drivers. Actually, both of these guys, I believe, are one of the newer drivers. And oh my goodness, they're catching up to Mark again. Oh, I'll tell you what. Take a look out the windshield. There's Mark's car. Al's going to drop down low. Mark's going to stay up high. Mark knows they're there, so he's going to stay up out of his way. Almost looked like Al's going to try to come up and give Mark a bit of a push, but I don't think Mark's got the speed. I think he'd be a problem. So, but he might have came up and give him a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of a push, get a little bit more momentum for him, pick up his speed, so he might be able to catch the back of the pack again. Because Mark is now 5 laps down, according to my ticker. So that's not bearing really well for Mark. Mark usually does a lot better than this. He just obviously does not have his car dialed in here tonight. Because I know Mark usually does. Mark likes riding around the back of the pack. And I've learned that from him, racing with him for a few years. And actually, I've kind of adapted that strategy myself. I like to ride around the back of the pack, and then the last few laps, last 10, 15 laps, then see if I can do something with it. But once you lose a draft at Daytona, you're going laps down, buddy. And it's definitely hurting him tonight. It definitely hurt him bad. Like, he's 5 laps down and dropping. So, but meanwhile, back at the front of the pack, 88 of Al Likens, he's still up there. So let's take a walk back and take a look at Robbie Stewart and see where Robbie is. Robbie's doing a pretty good job back there, I believe. Take a look at his windshield. He's right there on the back end of the 19. Keith Hilbert. So we'll take a look and see left rear suspension. He has, 4 or 5 cars behind him. Looks like they're trying to catch up with him. So everyone's in the inside lane. We have a car on the outside, though. That would be the 80, I believe. He's kind of out there by himself, riding along. As Merrill, you're broadcasting better than I was driving, Art. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know. That doesn't sound good, brother. That doesn't sound good at all. You couldn't have been worse than me. And yes, Tara, all of them are crazy. They're all having a good time out here, though, tonight. I am sure. All right, jump back up with the leader. Let's see what he's doing up here. Yes, everyone's in a single file line. Jump up to the blip. I really wish I had my other cameras. And once I get my new system in, I promise, I've been in talks with Whiplash Sim Cams, and I do have some of their packages because I am doing another league that they are a sponsor of, so he's feeding me some cameras as I do different races for that other league. And I'm working with him to try to get all his cameras, because instead of having about 25 cameras, I'll end up with about 55, 60 different camera angles, including drones, so I can follow the cars around and circle the car while they're doing pit stops. Whiplash cameras have awesome cameras. And again, I'm working closely with them, and we'll see if I can't get the full package deal from them. But I'm kind of holding off until I get the new system. Again, give me a couple weeks. I'll get everything nailed down, and we will be a happening broadcast. I hope. Except for my inexperience and my goofiness. You know what it is. But anyway, back to the leader. We still have the 88. Al Likens showing the way. 17 laps to go. Everyone's minding their P's and Q's. Everyone's in a straight line. Everyone's behaving themselves. I bet you though, once we get down to about 10 laps to go, everybody's going to think differently, and they're going to say, the heck with you, I'm going to the front. Sitting in the 22 spot in that 21 car, Esmero. Where's the 21 car? I don't even see that 21 car there. Let me see. He's not even on the track, is he? Oh, who's that coming around the track? Nope. We'll go back up to the leader. Oh, they're all coming into pit lane. They're all coming into pit lane for fuel. Oh, we have one car in the tri-oval. He's off the track. He's in the grass. He did a fast jump in. I'm going to jump over to the 7. See if I can take a quick look from the spotter view. That would have been the 5. We're going to back up it just a little bit. We're going to take a quick look at the 5 and see if we can see what happened to him coming on the pit lane. That's R.J. Jones. He's coming in hot. Too hot. He's locking her up. He's across the grass. And did he get stuck? He might have gotten stuck. He towed himself to the pits. That will cost him. He's going to be sitting there for a while. All right, the 88 is still out front, Al Likens. But I expect he'll be coming in here directly. This pack of 4 would probably come in together, I'm assuming. We have a number of cars on pit lane right now. So the leader's going into turn 3 at the moment. Coming around. Is he going to come into the pit lane? No, looks like he's coming to stay out. He's going to stay out. He's going to get another lap in. So Val Likens, Fred Pennington, Jeremiah Nelson, and Josh Jones in the 76. He's still out there. He was in 15th. He was showing in the 15th place. But he is still 1 lap down. So that's why he's in the 15th place and not moving up, going across the start finish line. And then in behind them, we have James Small. He's up in 4th. And Jeff Gilmore is up in 5th. Now there's the 80 car. I believe he was in on the pits a lap or 2 ago. So he's going to try to jump in behind everyone else. We're just going to follow around. Yep. Drop in behind. Try to catch the draft. See if we can keep up with them. There's the 76. He's looking to catch the draft as well. Again, these cars, I believe, were the ones that were on the pit lane early. So we have 12 laps to go. Get back up with the leader. So Al Likens, she's been doing a really good job here at the end of this race, maintaining the lead. Okay, Esmero, he got knocked out. The 21 car got knocked out in the first accident. Alrighty. I was wondering, I haven't seen him on the track here, so I was wondering when you mentioned him, I was wondering where he was. So I see that he's not on the track at all. So yes, right now we have the 88. He's still out in the lead. It just has me wondering, 11 laps to go, does he have enough fuel to make it all the way around, or will he have to come in and get some fuel? He's going into turn 3 now. Every time he comes around turn 4, I keep expecting this lead lap, 4 or 5 cars, all the guys that are in front, to come in for some fuel. But there they are again. They're bypassing pit lane again. So obviously they're doing well, saving fuel. But with 10 laps to go, are they trying to milk it and hope for a caution at the end of the race? That's the other thing about Daytona. Everyone starts making crazy moves at the end of the race. So with 5, 6, 7, 10 laps to go, things can get a little crazy. And you pick up a last lap, couple lap caution. You might be able to go in, get a splash of gas, new Sunoco fuel, and have enough to get around this track and still maintain your lead or maintain close to the front of the pack. They're still bypassing pit lane, so I'm not sure how much they have. I'm not privy to that information, but they're still doing a good job. We have a pack of about 12 cars, 10 cars. We have one car blinking in the middle. 9 cars, I guess. I believe it's Larry Blair in the back. Yeah, there's Larry Blair in the back of the pack. Don't count Larry out. He's right there, and I believe he did get fuel. So Larry Blair right now. Where are you, Larry? Larry is in... Dun, dun, dun. I don't even see you on the ticker. You're in 12th place, but you are a lap down. Well, that's not good for Larry. You need to get your lap back, buddy. Al Likens is still leading this thing. Fred Pennington is in 2nd. Jeremiah Nelson is in 3rd. James Small is in 4th. Jeff Gilmore in the 57. He's up in 5th. They're all just riding along like a Sunday afternoon ride. And once again, they're going to bypass pit lane. They're down to 8 laps to go. It really has me wondering if they're going to try to milk it and try to get all the way in to that last lap. Yeah, Tara, you can ask. I'd be interested to know if you can interrupt Chris, but don't make him crash. Whatever you do, don't make him crash. But if Chris's wife can go in and just check and see how much fuel he's got, that'll give me an idea, and I'll have a little bit better idea what's going on. So where is Chris anyway? Chris is right there, but he's back in 7th place in the 2nd pack. So we're going to go back up with the leader. Oh, leaders are all in. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I missed it. So let's actually go back to Chris then. Let's see if that's going to put him up. While the leaders are all in pit lane, they're getting a splash of Sunoco. They're going to get ready to go. But now, this 2nd pack now is coming up on the start-finish line. The other guys are just coming out of the pit lane. They're in turn 1 now. So let's just see if they can catch up to this front pack and go past them. They have 9 cars in the 2nd pack, and they are catching up to the pack in front. Can they do anything with it? Do they have the momentum to get by them? I'm sure that's what Chris is hoping for. There's the 45, Michael Yarrow, going to go out on the outside. Chris is right on his back bumper. There's a National Guard jumping out in front. He's going to try to block him. Trying to get the push up. Chris is right on Michael's back bumper, though, giving him a big push on the outside. So that looks like it put the 48 into the lead. Take a quick look here. Take a better look. Jump into the chopper. Take a look down. It looks like the 48 is in the lead when they come across the start-finish line. Oh, no, Michael Yao goes around. Oh, no, he get into him. Oh, there's Chris going. Oh, my goodness, they're wrecking. There's the yellow flag coming out. We're going to go back. We're going to take a look. Go jump in with Chris. Chris looks like he got out of it, but he was into it there. Some darn good driving by Chris. He got on the back end of Michael Yarrow. Michael got down. But look at Chris. He was right there almost perfectly sideways, and he straightened it out, and he's back onto the track. Hopefully he didn't damage the car too much. Let's go back up a little bit more. Take a look and see who else is involved in that, because no one's following Chris away from the accident. So we got the 2, we got the 24, last year's champion. We're going to take a quick look back up just a hair, get a better look at this. We're in the chopper. All right, they're all wrecking up in front. Jason tried to go low. He did a good job fetching it up. He missed a lot of the accident. He did a darn good piece of driving right there. I'd say a little bit stronger words, actually, myself. So, yeah. Okay. Again, 3 laps to go. Told ya. Boys are going to get crazy here at the last lap. But Chris did a really good bit of driving. Jason Adams, he did a really good bit of driving. Locked her up in time to avoid a lot of that. But now we're going to have a reset. We're going to find out who is going to be in the lead, who's in the pits. We take a quick look at pit lane. We got some smoke coming from somebody there. Go to the spotter, see if we can see. I don't have my camera angles that I really wanted, unfortunately, but it appears that the 57, Jeff Gilmore, might be in the lead of this thing now. They're coming out of turn 4, so once you get across the start-finish line, that should reset everyone. I don't see Chris's car. Let's see, where's Chris? Oh, there's Chris back there in the corner coming out of turn 4. He's quite a ways back, though. But at least he didn't wreck. Like, he did drive away from that accident. So, but he is coming into pit lane. So let's just follow Chris into the pit lane and let's see what he does. The other cars are going across start-finish line there. They're all resetting. So let's take a quick look and see what Chris does. He's got to throw tires on under the yellow. He could grab outsides, but all he needs is a splash of fuel. He doesn't need much fuel. He might be going in for a little bit of repair. He's taking the outsides. Maybe get a little bit more traction on the outside. He's taking the insides as well. So he's taking all 4 tires on that car, topping up with Sunoco fuel, and then he's going to be pulling out. He's still sitting there, so he's got a little bit of damage. Going to try to get the damage done. Get that fixed up. It's going to put him back farther in the pack, but again, he has 4 new tires. I don't know if that's going to be a big help to him or not. Cars are all coming off pit lane now. Chris is still on there. So we'll go back up to the leader. So as of right now, 57 Jeff Gilmore is in the lead. James Small in the 61 is in second. Jeremiah Nelson is in third. The 44 Robbie Darnell is actually in 4th place. And it's showing Chris is in 5th place, but he's in the pits. Fred Pennington is in 6th. Brandon Hartwell is in 7th. Jason Adams is in 8th. He did a great job of locking it up and avoiding that wreck. Larry Blair is in 9th. And Brandon Sheets is in 10th. It looked like Larry got his lap back anyway. So he's back on the lead lap and up in the 9th position. Jump back real quick, see where Chris is. There's Chris coming up. Chris is at the back of the pack coming out of turn 4. Just catching up to everyone. Okay, we'll go back up to the leader again. Some of the lead lap cars are coming in now. Go to pit lane, take a look. Well, we'll go back up with the leader again. Couldn't quite get the cars that were on pit lane, going into pit lane. We have some wave around cars. So that should reset the pack again. So now the official should be Jeremiah Nelson in the 48 in first place. Robbie Darnell's in second on the outside. Fred Pennington will be in third on the inside. James Small will be in the 61 on the outside in fourth place. Brandon Hartwell will be in the fifth place on the inside, should be. 57 Jeff Gilmore, he's back in sixth. Jason Adams is in seventh. Chris Paff is in eighth place in the 22. Larry Blair still in the ninth place. And Keith Herbert is one lap down, but he's in 10th place. So, okay, let's see. Get everybody lined back up again. The lights are off on the pace car now. Yes, I think the 57 did have a pretty good pit strategy. But again, he's now back in sixth. He was sitting up a little bit farther to the front. I thought he was sitting a little bit better, but until they go across the start-finish line, it's really hard to tell exactly where you are. I usually like to wait until they go across start-finish, at least a lap in, to see where they are and see how they're going to finish up here. So we've got a green-white checker happening. So let's see. The lights are off on the pace car. Okay, and Jason Adams looks to be in seventh place, and Jeff Gilmore is in sixth. Race, green, 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 they're racing. Going into turn one. Let's just jump up in the chopper with the leader, because the 48 is out in the lead. Jeremiah Nelson. Fred Pennington giving him a big push. There's Chris, he's looking on the outside. He said nobody to go with him though. But he is looking. There's a 13 coming up. Is Chris going to jump out in front of the 13? No, he's going to join the 57, Jeff Gilmore. Maybe the two of them can make something happen. He's right on his back bumper. Then Jeremiah jumped out to take a look. He jumped out too far, caught him in the middle. He's going to start sliding back now. Fred Pennington's lost his momentum on the inside line. So there's Chris pushing Jeff. Chris is going on to take a look on the outside. 13's going to give him a push. The 48's coming up to the 57 to Jeff. Going to try to give Jeff a little bit of a push as well. Oh, 44, Robbie Darnell's in there taking a look. He said, get out of my way, boys. I'm coming through. He's getting up on the back end of Chris's car. Oh, there goes Jason Adams. He just went in the wall. 73, Larry Blair's in. Oh, come on, boys, hang on to her. Chris is going low, trying to avoid the 57. They're coming in. It's saying one to go. But I think that was it. Or is it the 48 still Jeremiah Nelson trying to get the big push? 76 around. Yeah, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like the 25 Brandon Hartwell, then Jeremiah Nelson, and then Fred Pennington. The 25, the 48, and the 8. It looks like the 25's getting the push from the 13 because he probably ran out of fuel. That's the race. And I thought Chris was going to do real well. He did get 20. He got fifth. Chris is in fifth. Jeff Gilmore is in sixth. Jason Adam got seventh. James Small got eighth. Larry Blair is in ninth. And Keith appears to be in 10th place. So Brandon, Jeremiah, and Fred seems to be your race winners. Or your top three, I shouldn't say. They didn't all win. Obviously, Brandon took it away. So I'm going to jump down. Look. There we go. He's tearing it up now. Brandon's having a little bit of fun with it. He's right there. All right, stay tuned. We're going to go back and we're going to have a little chat with the top three drivers. And we will be right back. See if I can grab onto them out of the Discord channel here. Hey, Fred, you got a copy, buddy? Hang on a second there. I'm just trying to get you here. Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now there, bud? Yeah. How did you like the end of that race, buddy? I'll tell you what, you did a good job catching up there. Yeah, you were at the lead there for quite a while there. You were off and on, taking the point, and then you were back and forth. And, so how did you find the drafting out there? Did you find anybody to draft with pretty easily, or? Right on. At what point did you think you had a shot of being at least a top 5 driver? Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I've been a driver with these guys for a few years now, and I just jumped up there into the booth. I'm just starting my broadcasting career. Hopefully, I'll be a better broadcaster than I was a driver, but we'll see. But no, they are. They're a real good group of guys to race with every Sunday night. They're awesome. Right on. Well, don't expect too much, but yeah, I think I did an okay job. I hope I did anyway. Kept it entertaining. That's the main thing. Oh, all right. You got anything to say to your fans or sponsors or anyone there out there in TV land? Right on. All right, man. Well, congratulations on top 3. I'm going to put you back up with the rest of the pack now. And yeah, we'll see you next weekend. All right, man. All right, we're going to go up and see if we can find Jeremiah. I'm looking for him. I don't see him in the chat channel, though, unfortunately. Where the heck is he? Bear with me, folks. Well, I can't seem to find Jeremiah. I don't see him right there, so I think we're going to have to grab on to Brandon to drag him down. Hey, Brandon, how you doing tonight, buddy? Oh, not too bad. Sorry, up here in the booth. What did you make of the last few laps of that race? Right on. Yeah, it was back and forth. I was calling it, and I figured that there was going to be a wreck with the last 5 or 10 laps to go, and it didn't disappoint me. I knew there was going to be something happen. Just kind of always felt that, you know what I mean? But no, and it looks like we got a good group of guys here starting the season off with. I was wondering about fuel. Because with the accidents, I wasn't really keeping tabs of, who was pitting and who wasn't pitting, and then I got thinking that at the end of the broadcast, I was saying, who has got enough fuel to make it the rest of the way? And I just wasn't sure. So you were getting pretty close to the empty tank, I guess. Oh wow. Yes, sir. So how's the wind set you up for next week's race there? You get the first race of the season down, Pat. So what do you think moving forward? Well, somebody's got to go in there and kick Jason's butt, don't they? Right on. Well, so not to keep you tied up here, but you got anything to say to any of your sponsors or any family and friends back home? Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen it drop off a little bit myself, and I know myself. I was in and out. I was doing different things, and so on and so forth. So I didn't get to race nearly enough. But I guess you're going to have me every Sunday night. I may not be on the track, but I'll be up here in the booth and trying to make sense of what you guys are doing down there on the track every day or every week. Anyway, right on. All right, man. Well, we're going to let you go, and thanks for a heck of a show. And yeah, we'll see you all next Sunday night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the race for now. That was Daytona for the Dave Bush Cup Series race. Sorry, just trying to finish up a couple things here. So I should get off the air, finish up what I have to do. The rest of you have a wonderful evening, and I hope you have a lot of time set aside for next Sunday night, because next Sunday night we're going to be back at it. All right. That's it for now. See you in a week. Next Sunday night, 8:30 Eastern.